Hello, everyone. This is the Death Chicks. If it's Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock on the East Coast, 12 o'clock noon on the West Coast, then it must be the Death Chicks. I'm Patty Burgess with DoingDeathDifferently.com and TeachingTransitions.com, and my wonderful co-host is Misty Lynn out of the Arctic. She says it's very white there today. Lots of snow, lots of sunshine. And Misty is with bittersweetblessing.com. So welcome, everybody. And as you can see, we've got this glorious panel of death experts, death aficionados, death awareness promoters, and we're very excited to have them because what we've been doing these last couple of weeks is talking about the big questions about death. So that's what we're going to continue with today, the big questions about death. And what I'm going to do is hand it over to Misty to introduce our folks, and then we're going to ask these questions, jump right into it, and get to it. So thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Patty.
You are so welcome.
So the question today we have is, how do we deal with death? And we're very pleased to have a number of great panelists here. We have Terry Daniel, if you'll just wave, Terry. Terry is produced, well, she's the producer of the Afterlife Awareness Conference, and she also has a program, Grief is a Mystical Journey. So she's a reverend. So there's Terry Daniel. Next to her, we have a death doula from New York City, Suzanne O'Brien. Suzanne teaches people and trains them on how to be great at death. Stephen Garrett, wonderful to have a man with us. This forum seems to be mostly with women, so we're so happy to have the male presence here today. Stephen Garrett is with EmbraceYourLife.com, and he's a death coach. And we have Nina McKissock. Nina is a hospice nurse and an author who wrote a book about her hospice experiences, sharing the lives of a number of patients and how that helped her to really understand life from viewing death. And we all know that that's what the Death Chicks are about. We talk about death because we really deeply feel that each of you and each of us needs and wants to live life fully. And our last panelist is Daniella Norris. And Daniella is here from Switzerland. She's a part of the International Grief Council, and she's also an author. So welcome, everyone. And let's dive right in. The question, and we're going to go in order of introductions. The question is, how do we deal with death? So go ahead, Terry.
How do we deal with death, meaning how does our culture deal with death now, or how should we deal with death?
And I would say both, because we like to have that context for sure. And what's interesting is everyone's going to do it differently, so would love your perspective on how we...
You know what, let me talk more about how the culture does deal with death, because I have a lot of, knowledge in that area, and then you guys can maybe talk about how we should be dealing with death. A lot of people don't realize that in Western culture, we didn't used to be this afraid of death. There was a time, really, through the Middle Ages is when it started to change, when people lived with death right at their side. They saw dead people everywhere, everybody died at home, there was death in the streets, and when somebody felt that their time was coming, and you've seen this in movies and in literature, the person would lay down in their bed and say, get the children, call the priest, and my time is coming, and they would prepare to die. And this happens in many Eastern cultures, but a lot of people don't know that this was part of Western culture for a long time. And that's how we used to die. The way we die today, I don't even need to say it. I mean, it's completely ignored and denied. We fight it off as long as possible. Our lifespan today, the average lifespan is 78. At the turn of the century in 1900, the average lifespan was 46. That's just crazy. And the reason the lifespan is...
Terry, I'm sorry, I just got word we are not live. I'm sorry, everyone. We're going to move on over